What's up, guys? Today, I wanted to share with you just a fun little project that I've been working on in ZABBIX. I will have some videos coming out about ZABBIX in the future, how I use it, how I monitor my infrastructure with it. But in this video, I put together a ZABBIX template that will automatically generate hosts and items for Disney and Universal amusement parks, and then track their line wait times, right? So my wife is huge into Disney, and me being kind of a ZABBIX nerd, I put together just to kind of show her like graphs and be able to monitor the wait times for each individual ride at Disney and Universal as we have a trip coming up in September. In case anyone's curious as to how I put this together, I found this theme park wait times API through qtimes.com. And so this is the API that I'm querying to pull the information. This is the only thing that I could really find. I didn't see where Disney had an official one that they post, but this one seemed to have Disney, Universal, and many other amusement parks that you can monitor. What we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and download the templates from my GitHub. So all you need to do is go to the GitHub, click on each one. You need both the Park Discovery template, or I'm sorry, Park Discovery Creation. So download that, and then the wait time discovery. Okay. So now that we have those downloaded, we're going to head over to our ZABBIX instance. Now, this is assuming you already have a ZABBIX instance set up. I will have videos on setting one of those up in the near future, but this is going to be right now for just people who are already using ZABBIX. So we're going to head over to ZABBIX. Once you're in ZABBIX, you want to make sure that you have a group called amusement parks spelled exactly this way. It's sentence case. If you don't have you obviously don't have a group probably called that yet. So if you don't, you just go to create host group at the top. Once you go ahead and type the group name in there, just go ahead and click add, and you'll get your host group just like we need it. The next thing that we want to do is we want to import our templates. Click on under data collection, the templates menu, and then we're going to click import at the top right. Now I'm running ZABBIX 7.2. However, this template should work on 7.0, 6.4, and some of the earlier versions. The only change that you'll have to make is you'll have to edit the file. You'll have to change anywhere in the file where it says 7.2 for the version. You'll have to change that to 7.0 if you're running 7.0, or 6.4 if you're running 6.4. So we're going to go back and choose file for our template import. So you do need to import these in a specific order. The first one that you need to import is the wait time discovery. Okay. So that one was imported successfully. And then we're going to go ahead and import the other one as well. So the other one we need to do is the Park Discovery Creation. All right, we have our templates imported. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a host and assign the amusement park wait time template to it. So we're going to go to hosts, and we're going to create a host up here at the top right. And we're just going to call this Park Wait Times. And then for template, we're going to go ahead and select amusement park wait times. And we shouldn't need to do anything else. So we're going to go ahead and click add here. Apologies. We need to add the amusement parks group that we created in the previous step. Okay. So at this point, what it should be doing is it should be finding all of the parks that are owned by Disney World Resorts and Universal Studios, it should be creating additional hosts for each one of those parks, then creating items for the rides in those parks, and monitoring the time, the wait time that the API is returning for the item value. So if we want, we can go ahead and check on our monitoring tab to see, what we have so far. It is going to take a little while to populate the database and create all those things, so be patient. Go to monitoring and hosts. Okay, as you can see, I'm searching for one of the tags that I have associated with the host, and we can already see that it's pulled in the Disney parks, the individual parks that the API returned, and we should start getting some data from those parks. Again, go ahead and apply that template to the host, go have some coffee. It should probably take between 5 and 10 minutes to get everything pulled in. You can see these values are starting to jump up here. So if we click on, Disney Hollywood Studios, we can see that an item was created for every ride, and that data, the wait time data, is going to start coming in soon. Okay. So after a few minutes, we could see, okay, this one has a wait time of 60 minutes. This one right here, Runaway Railway, 45 minutes. So now we're pulling in that data into ZABBIX. So that should be all you have to do to get up and running with monitoring the rides and pulling that data in. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to create a simple dashboard with this data to just give you some inspiration on what you could do with it. I do have a trigger set that will, put up an alert if a ride has a short wait, which you can tweak and do whatever you'd like with this template. I'll continue to add to it over time, but let's go create a dashboard for it. So we're going to go to dashboards, and we can go ahead and just create a dashboard here, top right. I'm going to call this Disney Hollywood Studios. Apply. And let's go. All right, let's start creating. So I'm going to do add widget. We're going to do a honeycomb, and we're going to call this, let's do like the show's character meets. For the host, I'm just going to select, for the host group, I'm going to select amusement parks because that's where my hosts are going to live. Where you at? There we go. I'm going to select that. And for item patterns, so this is going to be everything that we want to see in our honeycomb. So I want to do just the characters and the meet and greets and the shows here. So let's select a couple here. Not the rides. I want to do those separate. Some of these I don't even know what they are, but let's do that. And then let's go ahead and we want to do we want to set a threshold for these so that we can maybe have some idea on like what the wait times mean. So let's do, we'll do 1 for green, and then let's say about 25, when a line's about 25 minutes, we want it to be yellow. And then let's do 40 minutes or 45 minutes for red. If a line gets to be about 45 minutes, we want that item to turn red. Okay. Click add there. All right. That looks pretty good. So we can see that, some of these, we would need to change that. So it just says Disney. We want to do the item name so that we know. There we go. So now we know what the ride is and how long the wait is. Cool. All right. Then I'm going to speed through this on mine, but I'm going to create one and then I'm going to knock out a bunch. The next thing I want to do is I want to create an item display for the popular rides and what their current wait times are. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and add a new widget. Let's do the item. We're going to click item and we want to monitor this. And then I want the item name. I don't want any decimal places. We don't need to know decimal. It's not going to report it anyway. Let's do our thresholds. Let's do 1, 45, 60. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Now let's do 65. All right. Apply that. All right. So now we have our one item that we're monitoring, and it tells us, I want to get rid of that date. That's kind of mucking it up a little bit. Let's do that. Perfect. And we want to make that text a little bigger. Value. No, what do we want? We want this to be bigger. There we go. Cool. All right. So now we can see that this ride has a 60-minute wait. It's orange because it's not, horrible. It's not a horrible wait. It's not past our threshold. It's not green. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy this for the rides and I'll kind of fast forward in the video. Well, actually, let me show you how to copy it so you can see that part and then I'll fast forward. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to go to the three little dots. I'm going to do copy, and I'm going to click right next to it. I'm going to do paste, and I'm going to click the settings, and then I'm going to change the item, and we're going to do the next ride in the list, the Runaway Railway, and apply. Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. Just give me a second to knock a couple of these out, and then we'll move on to the next piece. All right, so I went ahead and I just created a couple of more of those, just copying and pasting and swapping out the item for the other rides at Hollywood Studios. And I already can see something that I want to improve on. I want to change the 0 minutes. What that usually means is it's closed or there's no wait. So I need to figure out a way to discern between those two and put that information there. So the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to kind of see just like a snapshot of a little graph with the highest weight to the lowest weight. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new widget. And I'm going to call this top 15 longest lines. And then we're going to change this to, let's see here. What are we going to change this to? Top items. That's what we're going to do. And then for host, we're going to select Hollywood Studios. And we're going to add our items here, the ones that we want to be a part of this. So I'm just actually going to select them all. And I'm going to uncheck this MK main item because it's not, that's the main item that all these other ones are pulling from. So we don't need that one. And we don't need the decimal places. And this looks good. We want indicators and we want thresholds. And we want to put this one right here. So let's go ahead and let's use the same thresholds that we were using. We'll do 1 for green. What do we use? 45 for that. And then let's do 65 for red. Let's add that. And what is it that we want to do? Vertical layout. And we don't want to show any problems because I have those triggers set. And we want to do 15 because it's top 15. All right. Ooh, I see a problem. So we don't want this big chungus up here at the top. So let's get rid of that. We want to get rid of the column header because we don't really need that. All right, there we go. Looking good now. All right. So now it looks like the wait times are actually pretty good right at the moment. So we have nothing longer than an hour and 5 minutes. So cool. And this can give you a barometer of everything in the park, right? We can sit here and look at the top 15. Looks like a decent day to be there. All right. So the next thing that we want to do, last thing, is we just want to create maybe some graphs to show the wait time over time. So I'm going to create one of those and then we'll copy and paste it. So let's go ahead and just do add widget. And we'll do graph, I think. Yeah, graph. Go. And we'll just call this, let's call this Slinky Dog. All right, so we'll do studios. And let's find Slinky Dog. And I like to do each graph as their own thing so that it's kind of clear in the graph which one you're looking at. But if you didn't want to create multiple graphs and you wanted to layer them, you just have to create you could add multiple and you could see it layers, or you could add multiple data sets and give them different colors and stuff like that. But I'm going to do each one as its own thing. So that looks good there. So let's go ahead and add that. So now we can see we don't have any data before we added the template and we started pulling in that information. So we just have the one ride right now. But the longer that you let this run, the longer that you can see that info for. So we're going to do copy and then we'll just do paste over here. And then we'll just call this one Tower of Terror. Swap out the item. Where are we at? There we go. And we give this a different color to make it look pretty. So we'll go, let's look a little too dark. Let's do this one maybe. Yeah, I like that. All right, and let's do one more. Make it pretty. Make it even. And Toy Story Mania, I think, has had quite a bit of weight lately, so let's do that. All right, so we'll go ahead and apply that. Oh, we want to change that color. Boom. All right, cool. So we got our Disney dashboard here, guys. I can sit here and look at this thing and, tell whoever to get on what ride throughout the entire park. And you could do this for every park, right? You can create additional pages, create one for Epcot, Magic Kingdom, all of them, right? And it'll just scroll through your dashboard. So really cool. If you're a network engineer and you're already using ZABBIX and for some reason you want to monitor Disney wait times, it's your lucky day. There you go. Again, just a fun project. I hope somebody finds this useful. I enjoyed working on it, and I'm going to continue to, don't forget to, after you spend the hour putting this together, don't forget to save your dashboard up there at the top right, or you will be pretty sad when you find out it's not there anymore. But yeah, cool. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next one.